I was halfway through my morning coffee when the intercom buzzed with a voice soaked in entitlement. You need to be out of the guest house by noon. It's booked for my daughter's influencer retreat, barked Deborah Hastings, the HOA vice president with a penchant for fake authority and real leopard print. The monitor lit up with her image sunglasses at sunrise, scarf flapping in the breeze, flanked by two assistants dragging a ring light and an inflatable swan across my freshly planted lavender. I thought it was a joke until I spotted the HOA petition in her acrylic-clawed hand. That woman had actually tried to seize my guest house for a live stream. What she didn't know and what would soon unravel her entire reality was that she was standing in front of one of the most secure CIA safe houses in the western United States. Deborah had just triggered a federal surveillance alarm system that didn't warn. It watched. 2 years ago, I bought this property knowing exactly what it was. Not just a scenic estate with a detached guest house under ivy, but a decommissioned agency site known as Echo Nest. Reinforced concrete, signal jammers, biometric locks, none of it visible to the casual observer, and certainly not listed on Zillow. It had been dormant until I was reactivated 6 months ago. I was officially a consultant now, but in truth, I was a contingency plan. Deborah's daughter, a vapid social media guru who now called herself Nova Sky, had returned from some spiritual bender in Tulum and declared she was launching an energy detox movement. Apparently, my guest house fit the aesthetic. As Deborah snapped at her crew like a Broadway director on a breakdown, I stepped outside. "Ma'am, you're trespassing," I said calmly. "You're not even using it," she huffed, peeking through the guest house windows. "Nova's followers need a space to heal. Do you know how important that is?" "I do," I replied, stepping between them and the path. "Which is why federal agents will be interested if you continue." Her smile twitched. The word federal always does that. But Deborah didn't back down. She pulled out a papersome, butchered version of the HOA bylaws with a clause highlighted in pink marker. "Community use requisition," she announced smugly. "Your guest house has been inactive for 30 days. It's now eligible for shared benefit." "This isn't a dorm fridge you're borrowing," I said. "And the house isn't inactive. It's just the kind of use that doesn't show up on Instagram." Right on cue, Nova Sky descended from their luxury SUV in a silk robe and began filming. "It's giving Cold War zen," she mumbled, tagging the location, "guest house takeover." And just like that, she broadcasted coordinates of a top-secret CIA structure to over 1 million followers. I tapped my watch. The guest house darkened. Cell signals dropped in a 2-block radius. A silent ping shot to Langley. They didn't need details, just the signal that Echo Nest had been compromised. That night, I watched security footage of Deborah sneaking back after midnight with gloves, a flashlight, and what looked like a spoon. Whispering like a cartoon burglar, she tried the patio door. Her daughter followed, filming the whole thing like it was an audition tape. When they failed to break in, Nova posted a selfie with the caption, "We got kicked out by the patriarchy." The next morning, Deborah rang the doorbell with a tray of organic muffins. "Peace offering," she chirped. "Let's be neighbors. Maybe just a weekend in the guest house." Behind her, Nova was already back with a new crew, setting up ring lights and incense like they were storming the Capitol with vibes. I warned them again. They ignored me again. That was their last mistake. As the film crew powered up their gear, a text flashed across my encrypted phone. "Unregistered network detected. Possible breach." Deborah was barking at a cameraman. Nova, meanwhile, was chanting some nonsense about cosmic rebirth while a wind machine blew her hair in slow motion. When she reached for the door, her thumb met the keypad and nothing happened. So she picked up a tripod and slammed it into the doorknob. That single act triggered a lockdown. A high-pitched frequency blasted from the house. Their mics fried. Nova shrieked, screaming about tech demons attacking her chakras. Deborah tried to rally the crew, who were already packing up in a panic. Then one of them reached for the window and got hit with an ultrasonic burst that sent him staggering back like he'd been tasered. Nova collapsed in glitter and rage, screaming, "This house is cursed." "You tagged the location, didn't you?" I asked her calmly. "Geo filters boost engagement," she whimpered. That was all Langley needed. I received a silent alert. "Incoming review team, ETA 2 hours." When they arrived, they weren't wearing suits. They wore baseball caps and tool belts. To the neighborhood, it looked like a contractor visit. In reality, they were transforming Echo Nest into something even deeper in operational node disguised by influencer absurdity. 2 days later, a black SUV delivered a manila envelope to Deborah's door. The agency had intercepted chatter from foreign IPS Russia and iron-pinging Nova's footage. A formal cease and desist was delivered, backed by federal statute. Deborah called me, her voice cracking. "I didn't know," she whispered. "We're stopping. I swear." "Good choice," I said. "That house isn't yours. It's not even mine. Just stay away." For 72 hours, she disappeared. No HOA meetings. No barking at mailmen. Her decorative flamingos vanished. But peace was too much to hope for. 3 days later, a white truck with HOA Emergency Services vinyl showed up. Deborah led a fake inspection crew around my yard, clipboard in hand like a deranged general. Nova followed with a protest sign and a live stream. Just as Deborah tried to force open the gate, the CIA arrived. Again, same black SUVs. Same calm authority. They handed me a sealed envelope. Temporary operational authority extended 180 days. No civilian access. Any breach would trigger detainment. "This is harassment," Deborah screamed. "I'll call the news." "They've been briefed," the agent replied. "You're already on a watch list." Nova stopped filming mid-sentence. Her phone sagged. "Are we famous again or in trouble?" she whispered. Back at home, I brewed another coffee and watched the drone footage as agents finalized new equipment inside the guest house. The agency had decided to use the chaos, not hide it. They flooded the internet with wellness-themed disinformation using Nova's own footage as bait. Her new content now lived inside carefully monitored echo chambers, chaotic, absurd, and perfect. A week later, Deborah received a letter, not a threat, but a job offer. Disinformation Liaison, Remote Testing Division. Apparently, her talent for confident ignorance made her a perfect unwitting test subject. Whether she accepts or not doesn't matter. She's part of the system now. So is Nova. So is everyone who watched. The guest house didn't vanish. It evolved. It became a myth-healing fortress hiding cold, hard surveillance beneath silk robes and essential oils. And I stayed right here. Editor of the madness. Gatekeeper of the last line. Watching the street from my porch, sipping coffee, while Deborah's world faded into static.